Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first game of the day from Europe. It is week number 5, day number 2. It's going to be XSEC versus Team Coast. As you can see, we're already in the picking and banning phase. A little bit of a delay due to players still being in ranked, but the early ban's coming out. XSEC going to get rid of Freya and Loki. On the side of Coast, it's Mercury. The Assassins coming off the board here as they become more and more prevalent in the meta.
I think Geb is going to get through here.
Yeah, he is.
We have a lot of assassin play here. A lot of people are really afraid of the new characters as well. Not a lot of practice with Odin, not a lot of practice with Arachne yet. So I think people are going to be too afraid to let them through. Actually, yes, Arachne will go down.
Arachne banned. We saw Odin first picked in yesterday's games when he was available here. XX's actually going to elect to take a Rom as their primary damage dealer out of that duo lane Coast. Well, they have Odin available to them as well as Geb. Picking up the both of them. Popular kind of theory is that Geb's a pretty good counter to Odin for a variety of reasons, one of which being a kind of weird interaction with stopping the damage from the bird bomb if he lands into a knockup, of which Geb is very, very good at doing. A little bit of, it's kind of a bug, kind of a feature sort of thing, so I don't want to go too much into the detail of how it works, but
basically you're landing into a knockup.
If you're landing into specific CCs, there's ways to negate the damage that he's doing.
On her Impale, Sobek Tail Whip,
That's
things
right.
like this will negate landing.
That's right. You can, well, at the very least, you can push him out of the way of the detonation range with abilities like that. But looking at the rest of our picks coming through, ladies and gentlemen, on XSEC, Nemesis, and, well, Zhang Kui going to be picked up for them. So they're going to take not only one of the stronger mages of the game, also his best counter, off of the board, setting XSEC up for a very potent team here. Coast on the other side has Odin, Nuwa, and Geb now getting locked in.
Really strong.
Big team fight presence out of these three gods.
So Odin, given the fact that Geb has been picked, this could be a solo, more than likely going to be a jungle. Something that's going to work very well is as we get towards the level 13, level 14 team fights, Odin's going to lock someone in the cage, and if he gets him low enough, the Nuwa ult will proc from anywhere, helping him possibly get an extra stack onto that passive. Yeah,
that's right. Stacking that damage up a little bit more, but we got to be looking for something to help synergize with that Odin ring to secure those kills coming out of the solo lane most likely here. For Team Coast, as Odin has been, generally speaking, run in the jungle. Final band's coming through. It's going to be Giannis taken out of the pool by XSEC. On the other side, Vamana going to be removed by Team Coast. So a couple strong solo laners being taken out of the pool there.
I like the fact that they took Vamana out. Don't let Xaylia get this character. Every time he gets it, it's just a nightmare for whoever's fighting him. It's a good ban.
He does still have Bakasura, though, available to him, another kind of premier god for the player. Team Coast continues down their kind of picking stage here of getting, well, what would be probably considered some of the best picks in the game. Apollo and Geb for your duo lane, Nuwa in the mid, Odin in your jungle. Of course, still a little bit to be seen of exactly how powerful the Odin's going to be.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, Scylla really coming back into the premier mid laner role.
So strong.
Kind of fell off as the Crush nerf came through. Basically, the nerf was that there was a minimum deploy time on Crush. The ability, that's the circle, her number 2.
You're welcome.
It deploys at her feet instantly before the change, which was about 3 patches ago. Since then, she's come off a bit, but starting to work her way back in.
I mean, that was the trouble with the character, is there was no counterplay to it. She kind of just went, here, 600 damage.
Yeah.
Hope you're not dead, right?
Yeah, a little bit similar to what you see out of Alquang now Kukulkan, right? This like, I put this thing down and I stand in it, and are you melee? Well, I'm going to live.
Yeah, well, I'll be fine. Final pick coming out for Team Coast. This is going to, I think, finish up the ambiguity, though Chuck, ambiguous himself. Princess Tomato obviously going to get Geb here for the overall support run. Shaggy's going to be on Apollo. Looks like Variety's going to be grabbing Chalk for solo lane, which means Zinder's going to be taking Odin into the jungle.
This is really similar to the comp that they actually picked yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Zinder playing the Odin yesterday. We had very similar. Variety also on the Chalk, and I believe Princess Tomato did have Geb. And they were going up against a Bacchus as well there. We'll see what Half Devil's able to do with it here on the side of XSEC. They are coming off of their win at the TSM Invitational in Sweden, where
they've got to be feeling
looked
good
to be very strong.
Yeah, they were nigh on unstoppable.
Yeah,
I mean, rather they were unstoppable.
They were unstoppable.
Yeah,
dropping no games.
No one took a game. And winning twice on
Frostiak,
order.
no Amir.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean,
well, it's because they could get Nemesis and Zhang Kui.
Right. I mean, take away the hard counter, and then putting Zhang in the lane against Chalk. I mean, he's not going to have too much trouble.
Yeah, no, he'll be fine. He'll be perfectly happy to sit there and farm up. But it looks like, well, yeah, no, it'll be Zhang in the mid actually up against the Nuwa.
Oh, that's Shadow Nightmare.
Xaylia will be taking Scylla to the solo lane here.
Oh.
So it fits more to Zalia's playstyle. Zhang Kui not really his cup of tea.
Likes aggression.
He likes aggression. He likes burst. He likes gods that can really take the fight.
Yeah.
More so than Zhang Kui, who's a little bit more of he's more of an initiator, less of a kind of.
Have we seen Xaylia play Scylla yet?
I don't know. Well, we do have some lovely graphics about the gods and the players that are playing them. I doubt we've seen it. My recollection is no.
I'm excited. If he's picking this over Bakasura, into what could have been an Odin. The Chalk was still on the table, both of which Baka kind of annihilates. I mean, Odin does win the early phase. You know, level 1 to level 6 generally will have a stronger matchup. But after that, I mean, Bakasura will just shred through Odin. He lost his defenses, doesn't have that same control, can't remove the cage anymore, so if he's caught with his jump down, it's just
that's been the big kind of trend that we've seen here is Odin looking pretty squishy without those passives and the passive protection game that he gets. But let's go ahead and take a look at the players that are going to be playing in these roles for XSEC, as you can see them rocking through here. Xaylia, Shadow Nightmare, and the rest of the crew. There's Frostyak, MVP from the Swedish TSM Invitational, Half Devil, TPD, and there's Funballer, the captain for XSEC. And their opponents today, Team Coast. Well, Princess Tomato barely making it in time. He was trying to get out of a ranked game. Glad he made it. And it won't be Ninja Bobat. He'll be being subbed in for by Zindern again today.
Right.
As he was, I think, for the rest of the week, he's unable to make it. Zindern, a pretty analogous pick, or analogous player to Bobat. They play roughly the same God pool at roughly the same level.
To me, though, I think Ninja Bobat has better team chemistry. He seems to pay attention to the team fight regarding his teammates' positioning and awareness a little bit more than Zindern, who notably in the past has kind of gone off on his own, been caught out of position. It's something that I know that he's been trying to shake, but without Ninja Bobat, I'm going to have to say that this team might be a tad bit weaker, and given the fact that they're closer to the bottom of the barrel compared to Exposed Secrets hot off their win, I think Coast is going to have their work cut out for him today.
Yeah, let's take a look at the players with their gods. We'll answer the question about Scylla here. Xaylia in the 4th position on the left side of your screen. And, wow, yeah, actually, 3, 4, and 16. So
I guess
with
once.
100% win rate. So, yeah, once, maybe twice with that KD, but likely once. 449 GPM. As you can see, Zhang Kui has been picked several times now by Shadow Nightmare, and he's doing pretty well on him with a 9 and 13. That's it's okay, 50% win rate, but you can see 100% win rate on Nemesis, 100% win rate on Scylla for them. It'll be the first time that Half Devil's playing Bacchus in the SPL for XSEC, however. And he's not really known for his Bacchus play. Besides that, more of a really strong warrior-style support, generally speaking.
So taking a look here at Tomato, 3, 18, 21. That's likely off of 2 games, given those ratios.
Well, look at that. Look at Carreño and Nuwa, 4, 1, and 9. I mean, that's a pretty solid
1 game.
Yeah, that's 1 game for sure, but 9 assists seems fairly low for Nuwa, I want to say.
Yeah, given the fact that he has that global presence. But then again, notably, Team Coast has not had an amazing amount of success, so that 1 game was probably hard fought.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. 100% win rate on any of the gods for Coast is pretty good, considering they only have 2 wins under their belt.
So we'll be getting into the game in just a few seconds here. Remember, guys, Team Coast basically needs a win here. If they don't get a win, they're really putting themselves in a position where they're not going to have enough.
They're running out of chances.
Yeah, they're running out of chances.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. I mean, right now they're 2 and 9.
They're not as bad off as Thirst at 1 and 9. They do have an extra win under their belt, obviously an extra game as well.
Right.
But it's like around the 12 loss mark, right? Is kind of what we were thinking. We looked at this a little bit. It seems like if you get up to around 12 losses, you're damn near mathematically out of it.
Right. I mean, at this point, you have to consider that Cognitive Red is 9 and 2. So meaning like they're basically mathematically in it.
Yeah, a couple more wins, they should be good. A couple more losses. And
I think they need 1 more win to really knock Fat Chunks away from the 1st seed contention. I mean, at this point, Chunks would need nothing but wins.
To clinch a berth, it's 1 more win for them, perhaps. Well, it looks like, guys, that the actual the game has to be remade due to some setting being off or a player
not wearing a vest.
We don't know. Do you have no vest here? But it'll be 3
floor.
minutes, and we'll be back with the beginning of the game. It's XSEC versus Coast coming up next, guys, on the backside of this 3-minute break for DM. I'm hi-rez Bart, and we'll see you with the opening commentary. Hey there, Smite fans.
Remember
Welcome
us?
to game number 1 here of today. Getting underway, XSEC versus Team Coast now in a brand new instance that is all brand new. Taking a look at the opening gambit here. Nothing out of the ordinary in the item pickups. Let's go ahead and introduce your teams. Exposed Secret is the blue team fighting on the bottom side of the minimap and the left side of your spectator UI. It's going to be Xaylia in the solo lane as Scylla. Shadow Nightmare in the mid lane as Zhang Kui. Funballer will be combining with Half Devil for 1.5 Devils as Rom and Bacchus in the duo lane. And Frostyak will be your jungler on Nemesis. As you see XSEC moving up the left side of the map. Looking for their opponents today. Coast, blue, wearing the red trunks today. Top side of your minimap, right side of your spectator UI. It's going to be Princess Tomato and Shaggy Shane combining for the Geb Apollo dual lane. Zindern will be your fill-in jungler as Odin. Carreño in the mid lane as Nuwa. And that leaves Variety in the solo lane as the Chalk with his heavy hammer sprint 1 start.
Speaking of which, that's going to give him a decent amount of pressure on Scylla. Xaylia, though, notably a player who has unbelievable positioning, shouldn't have too much issue in the early game. Neither character has an immense amount of clear. So it shouldn't be too hard, especially with Nemesis helping out. Looking at the top side jungle-wise, Zindern going to have a lot better clear. I mean, Jump by itself, or rather Lunge by itself, has such immense pressure early game, doing 120 damage now, a slight nerf comparatively to old Odin, which was swinging for 140.
Yeah, but between the Bird Bomb and the Leap at rank 3 doing about 300 damage between the two abilities, it gives him pretty nice jungle clear, as well as wave clear, which means that this early kind of duo portion of the solo lane, generally speaking, should go the way of Odin, but Nemesis Scylla, pretty good clear between the two of them.
I'm actually looking at the left side. I don't know that Half Devil used his Hand of the Gods there. I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Likely no. With the spread from Funballer on Rom.
Jumping in, Hand of the Gods.
Hand in the backside.
They're going
to take this fight. Smart split there by Coast, however. Princess Tomato going to go ahead and move his way into the jungle. He'll take some harass from Half Devil here, maybe an auto attack or two. Just the one as well. Half Devil's going to chase him back to the lane as well. But
honestly, I'm looking at Funball on that one. He should have immediately switched to Tomato. He knew Shaggy was going to be level 2 and had far more options to his kit right there. Once the Shockwave was down, the only thing they could have done to really deter that with, proper Astral Arrow use for the slows was ensure that Shaggy Shank bring himself back into the fight. They could have forced him.
Yeah, and honestly, in some respects here, looking at this, Bacchus hogging the wave. Well, here you see they put more pressure on the left side. They'll get some decent damage out of this, but when he hogs that wave, right, it gets him an instant level 2, but at level 2, Bacchus has Belly Flop and Burp. Can't actually get a stun off of the Burp. It's purely just channeled damage. May have actually liked to see an attempt at the red buff here over that with the Bacchus, just given that he doesn't have great kill potential until level 3.
The issue here is that he was late on the usage of Hand of the Gods. He's going to be about 10 seconds, maybe 15 behind Princess Tomato. So Princess Tomato does have that available to him. In fact, might go for something here. Belly Flop's going to do well, but the shield actually deterring the knockup and the overall use of damage. So another great spot there coming out from the guys on Coast.
But it is an exposed secrets lane for now. It's been basically pushed up the entire time. Half Devil getting a lot of ability usage off and a lot of damage put out, and is in a pretty good spot himself, still chugging on those purple pots. No, I'm sorry, actually did elect to go for green and blue pots here, but still has plenty of HP potions available to him, and with his empty Watcher's Gift start here, should have some pretty decent lane sustain.
Oh, actually gets the stun off. Belly Flop, once again, will be deterred by the shield. Right side, Xaylia actually taking some damage here, but dealing a little bit more. The issue is that he doesn't have as much pressure, though he's not having a hard time clearing the wave. Proccing into level 5 right there. Xaylia has a small lead in his lane as well.
Yeah, he's underway, basically. Level 6, level 7, he's going to get free clear out of that. Zindern will be picking up that backside red, so no steal going to be coming out from exposed secrets. And yeah, I mean, little things like that. I really do think that it would have been better off for Half Devil to go ahead and try to take that back camp, allowing Funballer to go ahead and farm at the wave. Rom very, very potent at wave clear, even without the Guardian there. So
that, and he's not going to be pressured by Geb Apollo. They don't have the kill. They don't have the damage to kill him.
There's not at this stage. No, not until the Apollo really comes online. Nice route there, cheeky route in the solo lane to. Couple more Archer shots coming out onto Chalk, but that's one thing we didn't really mention about this matchup is that Variety, a lot of what he has together in his kit right now between the AoE slow on his Rain Dance as well as the Frostbound Hammer rank 2, the Frozen Hammer, whatever the hell this thing's called, Heavy Hammer, there we go.
I'm surprised it hasn't been drilled into your head at this point.
He gets, he can get rooted out by Xaylia pretty easily. He just kind of roots him and then walks away from all those slows, so, and doesn't even have to use Zoe as of yet to get out of any trouble.
Oh, Shaggy Shank gonna fall there. Funball doing a great job. And a second kill actually given to the Archers. We're gonna get a new ult coming out here just to try to deter some damage. Frostyak does not go down. In fact, Zindern gets picked off as well. Randomly 3 people going down and in a bad timing as mid camps are up for contention.
That's right, but there's not much Exposed Secrets can do to secure this. They invested a lot. They'll take the left side, but Xaylia forced to ult out. On the right side there. So a couple kills picked up. Funballer, 1,500 player damage, leading all players as well, and doing a tremendous amount with that ultimate, hitting all 3 shots, picking up those 2 kills, the Archers, as you mentioned. Securing that final hit onto Geb.
Half Devil actually as well, over 1,000 on Bacchus already. A lot of damage coming through on both sides, and Half Devil, just like you called before, should have been rotating up. He actually goes up there to clear the top camp, stripping away some more damage and more experience gain from Zindern, who right now is very close to the bottom. It's 2,800, but Princess Tomato and Shaggy Shank both sitting 25, 26 respectively. Very, very low.
Yeah, First Blood getting Funballer up in that 3.2k net worth mark, meaning Dev's Glove's online. Shaggy Shank in the lane with rank 2, which is never a position you want to be. That third rank of Dev's Glove is just so cheap. 585 gold, I want to say, to finish it off from rank 2.
Messes up your timing real bad.
Yeah, and so now he's in his awkward position where he really needs to get about 1,600 gold before he goes back, finish off the Dev Gloves, get into boots too for it to be the most really efficient, but that's going to set his Dev Glove stacking back by so much, and he'll start losing out in power and lifesteal to Funball in a big way. So playing from behind now, Shaggy Shank.
He actually still doesn't even have enough. He's still 200 gold away. After the wave, he's going to need at least another wave, which means he's going to waste another 30 seconds before getting that online. Taking a look at Half Devil, I mean, you see that the Dev Glove's already given him 30, Death Toll's at 15. There's a lot of... He's already at 51 damage.
Yeah, and, well, you know, looky here, Variety has taken his first back up against that Scylla, picking up Sprint 2 here, so he's pretty committed to the Sprint. I'm not sure if he really internalized how effective it was going to be, you know? Like, it kind of opened up with the Sprint. Maybe that's the, like, standard play, right? I'll take Sprint and the Heavy Hammer, but it's not the Gradient Scylla. The Root's just going to shut that down. The
Root's going to hurt, but now at least he'll have some kind of counterplay at a short cooldown against maybe trying to get out of the crush a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Won't get baited as hard into the I'm a Monster. And then, of course, still has his ultimate available to him, which, used with Sprint, is going to ensure that he can catch up in case
It's also great against the Nemesis, right? That's who's going to be coming out of the jungle trying to gank him. Hitting level 6 now, Frosty. I haven't called his name just yet, but he's, I'm sure, just a moments away from trying to find a kill, actually shading to the right side of the map here as the blue buff.
Well, he was a part of the fact that Zindern went down in the mid lane. He did get the ultimate onto him, got burned down pretty quickly, forced Carino into the ultimate early, didn't find Frostiak on there. I mean, he's been doing a great job so far.
Yeah, primary kind of lane DPSers, though, getting good farm in the early game for XX. Shadow Nightmare and Funballer picking up 3 kills between the two of them, putting them in a pretty good position. But it does look like, guys, we are ready to head back into the game. Sorry about that brief delay, and away we go as you see Half Devil chugging up on the left side here, moving to contest this blue buff, while sitting about half HP. He's got a shot at this with a hog.
Oh, here comes he's looking for the belly flop hog. He's going to be late. He's not going in fast enough. Doesn't actually go for it. Figured there that the belly flop was
lane.
maybe
Frostiak's here. Ring is down for Zindern as well as Frostiak actually ulted Carino. Shadow Nightmare throws the card in, but actually misses there. And looks like Zindern is going to escape. Although, you know, did it save Carino's life or not? Zindern basically uses all of his mana and most of his HP there to prevent what was a would-be gank, perhaps, dive onto Carino. It's going to slow down his farm a bit more. You see, he has a recall. No camps available for him to pick up.
That's rough. And what's crazy is the topside timer for that camp, that doesn't belong to them. That was a timer actually given to Bacchus. So he didn't realize that was about to spawn. Now, given the fact that there are 2 camps on the top side, he has to now split his decision to where he's going to go. Overall, losing more golden experience. In fact, he has chosen the left side. Will he be late? Half Devil trying to fight off 2 here. Could be in trouble.
Yeah, I think Half Devil's going to go ahead and bug out of this one. Zindern, falls back in there. Actually uses the hog as well.
That was...
Belt's coming through, finding a stun on the 2, plus the healing reduction, knock up on the Zindern, but Half Devil's going to get stunned out here by the new one. No, Shiny Metal actually missing there. So no damage coming through. Funballer sitting in the backline, putting in the damage, but Shaggy Shank finds him nicely, and Toxic coming out. Zindern quite low. Ultimate from the Rom's going to take all of the shots to finish him off. No, the Ghost actually going to do it. Second shot finds a kill onto the retreating Geb, and Funballer picks himself up another kill as the Shadow Nightmare there.
Did you see the mistake?
Which one?
Odin uses the shield and then immediately jumps.
Right, which removes the shield.
Uh-oh, right side, just barely getting the silence off, using it effectively to get away from the damage. Heavy Hammer not going to proc there. Nice root coming off. How long on Crush? How long on Crush? He's got him. Zalia brings him down, but Carino puts Coast on the board with a good shot there.
Shaggy Shank's going to fall here, however. Frostiak also, there's a sprint available. The ultimate's out for Nemesis. They're going to dive this most likely. If the Slice Dice is able to come out, no. The one shot through the wall from Funballer does connect, but Frostiak, his third ultimate here, not finding much. Again, second one used on Anua, no deaths onto Carino there. And as you mentioned, does secure the first kill for Coast with that ultimate. Look at Funballer. Look at the play. Yeah, did they take the Gold Fury?
They did indeed. Exposed Secrets got the Gold Fury, increasing their lead up to 35. But before we continue, I do want to talk a little bit more about the Odin. He is technically a new character. Sure. For the people at home, the shield activates. It will explode based on how much damage it has remaining on it after a few seconds.
That's right.
If you jump, it will explode immediately on your landing. Now, what happened there was there were 2 ghosts chasing him from the Recall Demons. He jumps away from them instead of him letting them proc into the shield. The jump exploded, taking the shield away, and then took damage from the Recall Demons to finish him up.
Yeah, and let's check back in with the Soul Lane as well, as there's maybe a little bit more here than meets the eye, as we mentioned. The Boots, the Sprint, the Heavy Hammer, all very good against other melees or less mobile kind of mages. Zalia, of course, on the Scylla, very, very mobile. Not going to have much trouble with Variety. Variety really can only aggress when Sick comes down. And well, because he's actually very heavily committed to this build, he's not going to actually pick up any magical protection for some time here, which means that these crushes are going to be hitting him for about 400 damage, and that's a little bit too much for Chalk to safely kind of deal with. As you see, the wave's going to go down. Actually missing a root there, Zalia, as we to talk about him, of course. But it's a really tricky matchup for Variety. There's a lot of kill potential for Xaylia, and there's not much on the side of Variety without a gank.
Honestly,
speaking of ganks, mid lane,
ooh,
backstab
yeah,
coming out. Frosty Corino in a lot of trouble, even with the smoke not going to be there. Frosty throws out a card as well. But it's just going to slow down the minions.
Oh, I see Apollo stopping on the map, meaning we're going to see across the sky. Does he have Retribution? Will he recognize? He does use the Retribution, healing himself up a little bit and dodging the So Beautiful. Bird Bomb's going to do a lot. Doesn't quite have the shot, and he actually locks himself into his own cage. He will escape as the fight continues in the mid lane with Zindern going down. Yeah, and now picking up the permanent damage buff is actually Half Devil now. And the Rom ultimate once again just excellent timing by Funballer. The rotation is there and cleans up the fight yet again. 3 kills going the way of Exec. This one is looking to be a stomp. 11 kills to 1, 9 minutes in. You're looking at a 5,000 gold advantage, 8,000 XP advantage. Exposed Secrets coming off of that land win, showing that they're still in that rare form. That's true. I mean, look at Funball right now. 4-0-3. Shadow Nightmare 4-0-4 at 55 and 5,600. Standing tall, shooting that mid tower too at tier 1. I mean, you never see this kind of aggression coming out onto the mid tower at this stage from the duo lane. Those rotations, just picking up those crucial gods and finding it. Blue camp on the right side as well. TM going to be picked up, it looks like, by Xaylia. Making Varieties, well, Living Nightmare even worse. I mean, to be fair, he is Chalk, so I mean, he has some ways to contend still using Overflow. But to the same regard, I mean, he's getting pushed out level 10. Xaylia just getting into level 12 there, and of course, stripping away any more experience is going to hurt Variety immensely. Left side, Nemesis is deep. Backside, XP camps gets in some trouble. Roll actually does get the invulnerability out, unable to stop that, and he'll shed those slows, but they're going to take these XP camps as well. Looks like the last one maybe was picked up by that knock-up. But no, I think they got it off a little bit sooner, yeah. Okay, so all the XP shared there. Double stun. Xaylia in a bit of an awkward position here as Zindern and Variety are going to follow suit and take his blue buff. Half Devil on the rotation. Chipping away at Zindern now is Xaylia, but he's running fairly low on mana. I'm not sure Half Devil's going to be able to set up much, but I'm a Monster may get a kill here if the stun procs. It does. I'm a Monster. 528 damage. Belly flop over the top. An easy kill picked up onto the Odin. Look at that communication too. He's like, hey, you know, I'm gonna get this. I know I'm gonna get this. He has no way away. The thunder or the push is down. They may dive this tower here. Frostiak ultimate is Half Devil went back. Yeah, Half Devil did go back, so they don't have a great tank for this, and so they're just going to sit at the edge as Princess Tomato rotates over. They may actually spot him in the jungle. We'll see. You can see him escaping already, going to the top side. Doesn't want anything to do with that. Yeah, he's had enough of that shenanigans. Rom rotating to the middle lane, giving Apollo a little bit of room to farm, but picking up some continued experience for himself, and he's going to go find this wave and maybe only miss a couple minions as well. So Shaggy Shank right now 3 levels behind, on top of the fact that he has 1,700 gold deficit, actually finishing up the Warrior Tabby due to the fact that Shaggy Shank has actually spent some extra money where he shouldn't have before backs. But now, right now, Funball are sitting on 1,500. That could be a Balance Blade. I mean, if he wants to go into Draining Blade, that's possible as well, but I doubt it, considering how much health steal he already has. Likely, we're going to either see Crit or Balance Blade come out here. In mid lane there, Zindern actually blinks in and misses the Gungear's Might on a Shadow Nightmare. It's a tier 1 blink, and he didn't have kill potential there. That's a strange decision, you know, just to put out the harass, and they take the tier 1 on the back of, well, Odin having really nothing more to say about that. And the red buff gone as well. Yeah, there's not much that Zindern can do now. Under-leveled on Odin, he's just so squishy, but is such a prototypical warrior, you know, really needs to deal damage to you over about 10 seconds to really be, you know, effective. And, well, he just doesn't have the sustainability right now to deal with it with only the pen boots online. It really seems like the top 4 teams are starting to peer away completely. Whereas, you know, obviously they do have the records, but previously Coast put up a damn good fight in the early game. It seems like right now they are just not the team that we saw in the last season. They're getting, you know, for lack of a better word, they're getting exposed. Yeah, they're getting. This is pretty much outplay. Right now, especially in this duo lane. And look at this rotation coming out from Zhang Kui here. Realizes I can take away this tier 1 because if I can help them push this and, you know, lose mine for it, it'll give Funball more room to rotate. Yeah, and Newell actually be careful because Frostiak's here, and there's real kill potential still for the Nemesis. There's the smoke coming out, the slow as well. Sprint activated by Corino. Damage still coming through. The dashes are available from Frostiak. Great positioning there. 3 more hits to do it. There's the final one, and down goes the Snake Lady, and Variety now in some trouble as well. The silence coming out. In the meantime, Funballer finds a kill on the Shaggy Shank, but cutting off Variety's options now. Is there going to be another set of dashes available? There comes Zoe through the wall. Frostiak, there's a slice and dice. That secures the kill. 3 more kills around the map coming out for Exec, bringing them up to 15 and 1. 12.5 minutes into this game. Tier 1's down in the mid lane and the left side lane, and Gold Fury going to fall for the second time in favor of the blue team. I expected them to go for the tier 2 here. There was only 2 alive. It was level 10 Zindern, level 9 Princess Tomato. They could have doubled their gold gain right there by getting the tier 2 as well, but they're going to play the safe route. They're going to pick up a free 1,500 in hand right now. Shadow Nightmares at 28. So is Funballer. Frostiak at 22, and Half Devil at 23. An incredible amount of gold, a full Executioner and a full Spear of the Magus getting picked up right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the thinking there is that you get the experience from the Gold Fury as well. Experience being pretty important at this stage in the game. Plus, they've been so mobile, right? Like with Xaylia, a lot of mobility there. Shadow Nightmare's rotations have been early and often. Funballer with semi-global, Frosty quite fast as well. Looking over at Coast, I mean, they do have Apollo and Nuwa to bring that global presence together, and the Geb even with rollout, but they've been getting out-rotated pretty badly. It looks like XSEC has full map control, and when you're in that situation, another tower, maybe not as valuable as the experience you get from the Gold Fury. You're already ruling the map.
Again, though, check out, I'm looking at the builds. Half Devil, Sovereignty online, Princess Tomato still 900 gold away. That is going to hurt. The next team fight.
I mean, he's at 300 gold a minute, so that's 3 minutes of farm.
Oh, 344 is extremely low. Zindern at 384, comparatively to Half Devil at 533.
Variety's getting chased down, ultimate forced out, sitting at about 20% HP now. Geb Shield going to come out as well, but it's not in high enough rank to stop much. Crush damage, it is going to support, but there's I'm a Monster. He's got another one available. Zindern forced to juke back into the fight, can't go to his tower. Down he falls as well. Left side, dashing forward now is Funball. He's going to put the pressure onto Shaggy Shank as well as the team pressures in between the tier 1 and the tier 2, cutting creep and letting this tier 1 on the right side fall. Exposed Secrets finds himself yet another tower here.
Speaking of Funball, at 800 experience per minute right now, is locking Shaggy Shank under his tower 4 levels ahead, really just bullying him away, making sure that he has every opportunity to strip away gold, rotate when he needs to, actually going into the mid lane here. Check out the rotation coming out from him, and Half Devil have a free tier 2. This should be very little
right
trouble.
side here, though. You're going to get backstabbed by Frosty coming through. He's just jumping behind the wave there. Yeah, and now they turn to him. Xaylia and Shadow Nightmare moving forward. Zindern's going to come. Bird Bomb not hitting anything. He's going to leap forward, find Frosty. Half Devil's here. They should be able to stun out the Odin, and Odin indeed is stunned out. He's going to die here as well. Frosty getting that permanent power buff now. The damage from Rom doing so much as they're grouped up trying to get through that choke. Shadow Nightmare dashing forward. They're going to dive the tower now for Variety.
They're going for it. They're trying. Variety actually super low already. Now, taking a look at the board, he does not have his ultimate available to him. Going to rely heavily on Jukes and Heavy Hammer to keep himself alive. Will take some damage there, but has forced himself out. Right side, Princess Tomato getting that Nemesis
taken to the sky. Shaggy Shank going to come into the back lines. He has a lot of damage here. He's actually going to be able to pick up one kill already. Moving forward now, Shaggy Shank trying to lifesteal through the crush. It's just not there. Backside, Carino in some trouble as Half Devil is there just soaking up the damage, and the burp actually going to be enough to secure it. Funballer sneaks that shot in as well, just getting himself some nice fantasy points and a little extra farm. Variety now going to get rooted out, forced right into his ultimate, going to try to move out of this one. I'm a Monster ripping through. Zinder may actually be able to pick up a couple kills here, but Funballer is actually just lifestealing right through. The Archer's doing a lot of damage, stunned out now. Xaylia, does he have another crush available? It doesn't matter. Sickham's there for 400 damage. Deicide for XSEC, 23-3, 15 minutes into the game.
I am very surprised the F6 didn't come out there.
Yeah, I mean, piling him like that into a team fight at your tier 2.
That's usually when the emotions run high and you start hitting it on the keyboard. So props to Coast for keeping this one going, trying to find that late game. Look at Shadow Nightmare, though, right now. 1,700 gold in hand.
Oh, you can tell that they're feeling themselves, DM. Blink 3 out on Xaylia, and there's going to be a Dynasty Plate Helm as well coming out for Half Devil. So hybrid damage item for the Bacchus, as well as a Blink 3 on the Xaylia for just those continued initiations.
Bacchus probably has the most surprising damage in the game.
Yeah, Intoxicate doing tremendous amounts.
Belly flop, auto attack cancel to Intoxicate is like legitimately half the health of anyone on this map right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And he also gets a massive power bonus for using that ability, which is something that's overlooked a lot, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, giving himself a ton of damage on top of the fact that he'll also gain protections from chugging. Making himself even more tanky, and the F6
there it is.
Does come out. I think Team Coast recognized the fact that they weren't going to bring themselves back into this one. Exposed Secrets, exposing Team Coast. Going to move on to our second game of the day.
Yeah, no secret there. They seem to be the stronger team, but yeah. Going back to Intoxicate, rank 3, which is about where that ultimate was, about to be rank 4. 400 base damage at rank 3, 70% magical scaling, and gets a 40 magical power buff for using the ability. And the debuff lasts 8 seconds on the enemy players, which does, of course, apply that drunk effect to them. So, arguably, Bacchus Intoxicate is the best ability in the game.
It's one of them. You know, I always talk about it has this effect to it that very few items have, and that's, I've been hit by this, but I don't think I have to beat it.
Yeah.
And you do.
You do, yeah. It's nasty. I mean, it's effectively a like 40 or 50% slow because half the time you're moving in the wrong direction. So yeah. It's really, really strong.
You miss skill shots. It's hard. Sometimes you're running into walls. If you're at home and you're trying to learn how to fight Bacchus, the #1 thing is don't be afraid to use those beads. You need them.
Well, Bacchus showing his strength yet again as he comes to be more and more favorable in the meta. Geb and Athena no longer really sitting in that top tier, it seems like. We do have a replay available for you from this game. Let's take a look at one of those early kills from Funballer here. Likely to be the first one would be my expectation here. We'll see. Yeah, this is the first kill of the game here, and we'll see exactly what did go down. The knockup comes through, and right like that, I believe with the Intoxicate, Funballer hits level 5, and now, well, there's not much they can do. The final shot of Princess Tomato secures it with the Archer damage coming through. Double kill for Funballer, opening up that game and Exposed Secrets. Well, they didn't even really snowball off that. It was all of the lanes that they won that really gave them that victory.
I really like the early ultimate. You saw there, he could have just waited, got one more attack to kill Shaggy, but by going up early, he gave himself enough potential to not only hit Shaggy, but then find the shots onto Princess Tomato as well, who was completely locked down because he was trying to save, and then, of course, the Archer damage, help from Bacchus. Funball just proving once again why he's one of the best players in the world.
Absolutely, and that's going to round it out for game number 1 here, ladies and gentlemen, here in the European Smite Pro League. It's first half of the games for the day. Next game coming up is going to be Mortality Esports versus Team SoloMid. Should be a great game. Don't go anywhere for that one, guys. Immediately following this will be the Art Show, followed by Dev Talk today, so a lot of great Smite action for you. And then later tonight, you'll have the North American games. But that does do it for game number 1. For DM, I'm hi-rez Bart, and we'll see you guys for game number 2 in just a few moments.